on my microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Miss Mildred's Academy for Refined Young Ladies. We are so pleased you could join us today for our presentation of the 1922 Winter Pageant. If I had known how well Mother Nature was going to cooperate, I would have named it the 1922 Autumn Pageant. Our girls were a little nervous this morning that nobody was going to be able to come and be in the audience to watch. So thank you very much for braving the elements and joining us. Our pupils here at Miss Mildred's have been working hard for some weeks, preparing for to show you what they have been learning. There's been an emphasis on poetry in the school lately, so you will see a certain emphasis on poems in a variety of styles in this morning's program. In addition to poetry, there are some other sorts of entertainment for your amusement as well, including some that require audience participation. So don't even think about nodding off if this room gets a little warm. To begin the pageant today, I would like to introduce you to the students who will be participating. Oh, please, ma'am, yes, have a seat right up front. I'm sure I'll be able to call on you later. Our youngest student, appearing in her very first pageant, is little Pauline. Please come out and join us, Pauline. It's all right, dear. Come on out, Pauline. Pauline, your sweater. I'm sorry. Come have a seat, dear. You're going to find out later that Pauline is a very talented young lady. Our next student is a young lady who's going through a phase that a lot of girls go through. She's fascinated by horses. I have found in my long career that it is better to just let this phase come and go rather than trying to extinguish it prematurely. That just drags out the process and the young lady digs in her heels. Next we have Sadie. Sadie transferred to us quite recently from the local public school. Her parents decided that an all-girls academy would help her focus on
something other than boys.
On the skills that she needs for the future. Thank you for joining us, Sadie. Opal is the star of our kitchen. She's going to be reciting a piece for us later in the program, but she's currently preparing for the post-pageant luncheon, so she won't be able to join us for the whole program. You'll see Opal in a little while. And last but not least, we have a young lady who's going to be graduating from Miss Mildred's Academy in the spring. Thelma has been such a joy to have here and a tremendous role model for the younger girls. Come join us, Thelma, for your last winter pageant here at Miss Mildred's Academy. Well, we're going to start out while you're still all awake and engaged with a song to sing. All our pupils here at Miss Mildred's study music. A refined young lady has an appreciation of music and an ability to share it with those around her. So please join me in welcoming Pauline, one of our most gifted music students, to the piano.
Please join me in singing over the river, and through the woods. Miss Mildred, I told you I am too nervous to play if anyone is watching me, and they are all watching me.
No, they're not. They're all admiring the piano. It's a lovely piano. They're not watching you.
I can see their eyes watching me.
Well then, maybe you could play with your eyes closed.
I can't see the music when my eyes are closed, Miss Mildred.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's all sing a verse of Over the River with our eyes closed, shall we?
You watch them, Miss Mildred, and make sure their eyes are closed. I can't play if someone is watching me. And don't you watch me either, Miss Mildred, or I'll mess up.
Very well, Pauline. Please proceed. Everybody, please close your eyes and open your mouths in song. Pauline here. Could you possibly play that a little more slowly?
Okay.
Thank you so much. Pauline, you did a nice job. You can go back and have a seat now, my dear. It's okay, they're not watching you. I'm not even watching you. Oh, I think that was just a little bit of stage fright we saw there. Many of our students have never performed in front of a crowd before. So this experience is all new to them. Thank you for your kind understanding. Learning to speak in public and learning to speak in a dramatic fashion so as to hold the attention of the listener is a skill that all of our students work on here at Miss Mildred's. Every one of our students has prepared a piece to recite to you today. Some of them were written by others, and some of them have written their very own pieces to perform. These pieces will be sprinkled throughout our pageant, but we are going to start out with the first one now. Please welcome Harriet.
I heard a bird sing by Oliver Herford. I heard a bird sing in the dark of December, a magical thing and sweet to remember. We are nearer to spring than we were in September. I heard a bird sing in the dark of December. I heard a horse neigh by Harriet Hennessy. I heard my horse neigh in his stall in December. Nay. I heard his mouth full of hay, such sweet sounds to remember. We'll hitch up the sleigh if we can't ride in December. I heard my horse neigh in our barn this December. See, I told you that we like my horses.
Indeed, Harriet, and very well done. Well, It is the season of snowmen, starting today as a matter of fact. And Sadie has put together some words of advice for all of you that she learned from a snowman. Come join us, Sadie.
Hello. I'm going to have some help on this presentation from my snowman friend, Sam. Sam is going to share some words of wisdom.
Is that gum? Do you have gum?
No. I can't see it. Be well-rounded. Live. Well, life is short. See you? I can't see it. There's nothing on there. There's nothing on it. Be a jolly, happy soul. And spend time outdoors. Thank you, Sam, for sharing your wisdom. Oh, wait, there's more. Avoid meltdowns. Thanks, Sam, for sharing your wisdom with us today. Snowmen are not very smart.
Thank you, Sadie. Thank you, Sadie. And thank you, Snowman Sam, for not melting in this warm schoolroom and making a mess out of everything. While here at the Academy, our young ladies study many subjects, including civics. We have a few civics questions to be answered today. Please remember, if you'd like to answer the question, raise your hand so you can be called on. Velma?
I'd like to answer a question.
I'm glad, Thelma. I appreciate your eagerness. I'll ask a question first, okay? Who is President of the United States? Anyone besides Thelma have any idea who is President of the United States? Adults in the community, I'm hoping someone knows who is President of the United States. Yes, ma'am, in the back corner, way back there.
Joe Biden.
Who is that? Anybody else have an idea who might be President of the United States? Yes, ma'am.
Joe Biden.
Does anybody know who this Joe Biden is? Is he new to town?
Would you repeat the year?
Oh, this is the winter pageant of 1922. I'm sorry, sir, what did you say? Oh dear. Thelma, do you know who President of the United States is?
I do. President of the United States is Warren G. Harding.
Warren G. Harding. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Thelma. Now that we've determined who the President of the United States is, does anybody want to hazard a guess about who the Vice President might be? Thank you, Thelma. I know. Ladies and gentlemen, do you have any idea at all who the Governor of Wisconsin might be? Oh dear. So, I think perhaps it would be wise if you spent a little more time listening to the radio, or reading the newspapers, or studying your children's homework, because I'm going to show you that the next generation is doing pretty well here. Sadie, who's Vice President of the United States?
Would that be Calvin Coolidge?
That would be Silent Calvin Coolidge. Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, this is one that nobody ever knows. But this name might sound familiar to you. Oh, Thelma knows. Of course Thelma knows. Thelma studies a lot. Thelma.
William Taft.
William Taft. And that elusive governor of the state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's that Joe Biden guy you were talking about. No.
So true.
Thelma.
John J. Blaine.
President Blaine. Okay, well,
I'm sorry, he's governor, Miss Mildred,
what did
not
he say?
president.
You're right, Thelma, thank you. You can see why I'm going to miss Thelma when she graduates. I just hope Thelma doesn't set up a rival school. Pauline. This is what a refined young lady would use in that circumstance. You can see we start with raw material and work. All right, well, from civics, we're going to turn our attention to the domestic arts. Our young ladies learn to preside over a smoothly running household, and everyone knows that meals are an important part of that. Our students learn how to carefully follow recipes, how to be frugal and not waste food, and how to set an attractive table. One of our young ladies is a star in the cooking department, and she's prepared a recitation for you about this subject. I'm going to call Opal to join us. Miss Opal, are you available? Oh, good. Thank you for joining us, Opal.
I didn't have potatoes.
What?
Oh, like this? Okay. I didn't have potatoes, so I substituted rice. I didn't have paprika, so I used another spice. I didn't have tomato sauce, so I used tomato paste. A whole can, not a half. I don't believe in waste. A friend gave me this recipe. She said, you couldn't beat it. Must be something wrong with her. I couldn't even eat it. Oh, thank you.
Opal, a refined young lady does not blow kisses to the audience.
Fanny Bryce does.
Let's start clean, shall we? Very raw material we start with at that age. But she's so talented in so many ways. All right, well, I mentioned earlier that music is an important part of our young ladies' education. Besides learning to perform as solo musicians, they also learn to work in ensembles. Today we're going to give you all a chance to have that experience as well. When working in a group, it isn't always easy to follow your own assigned part. Sometimes we find we can get pulled away and end up performing with others in their part instead of our own. We'll show you how this can happen. Pauline, Sadie, can you please come join me? Come over here, Pauline. Sadie, is that gum?
No?
All right. Pauline, I'm going to have you move just down here just a little bit. That's good, dear. All right, this third of the audience is going to follow Sadie's direction. This third of the audience.
I'm not Sadie.
Oh, I'm so sorry, dear. You're right. You all look the same to me sometimes. You're Pauline. Phil,
Yes.
it's okay, Pauline. You're doing great. I know this is your first pageant. This third of the audience is going to follow this young lady, whichever one she is. Pauline. This one's going to follow, this group will follow Pauline. These two rows, and this row will follow my direction. And this group will follow Sadie's lead. We're going to sing Row, Row, Row Your Boat. I think you all know the words to Row, Row, Row Your Boat. First, we're going to sing it all together. Then we'll stop, and we'll sing it as a round. And you'll see how difficult it is to stay in your part when other people are doing other parts. So, all together now, everyone. Perhaps with your eyes closed for Pauline's section. All right. And row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Very nice. And now, in 3 sections, remember who your leader is and follow them. Take your cues from them. Pauline's going to start us out with that section. I'll chime in with the middle. Sadie will follow up. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Merrily, life is but a dream. Yes. Life is but a dream. Oh, what a lovely performance. You all followed your parts so well. Give yourselves a hand. Very, very nice. Now, wasn't that fun? Thank you for your help, Pauline and Sadie. Next, we're going to hear from Thelma. Like all of our students, Thelma studies needle arts, embroidery, tatting, knitting, and needlepoint. Thelma's lucky because she also has a very talented teacher at home. Her mother is an expert knitter. Thelma asked me if she could write a poem for her presentation about the hand-knitted gift she received from her mother last year. This should be a treat. She's just finished the poem, and even I haven't heard the last few rhymes yet. She was struggling to get them to come out properly. But come up, Thelma, and join us.
My mom, she is a knitter. My mom, she likes to knit. The yarn is all a kilter. The needles fly and flit. I asked my mom for mittens, please, for when the wind does blow. I begged my mom for cozy socks to help keep out the snow. My mom just sat and stared at me as if she didn't hear. Oh no, how dull, she mumbled. I made both of those last year. So I wouldn't get socks or mittens. I get something else instead. Having a mom with imagination can fill a child with dread. One friend has a red tam o' shanter, another a new beret. Both were gifts from their mothers that were met with hearty hoorays. I hoped my mom would make me a scarf with bright stripes and nice long fringe. But when I opened my gift Christmas morn, I couldn't help but cringe. My head remains uncovered, except in the worst of times. Then I take out the gift from my mother, and onto my head he climbs. So I didn't get socks or mittens or much of a cap for my head. Having a dinosaur knitting mother can fill a child with dread.
was very original, Velma. We do have one more recitation to share with you this morning, and that would be from little Pauline. Pauline, can you come join us? Well, go on then, but be quick about it. Velma, Pauline just isn't feeling really well. Could you just make sure that she gets to the washroom okay and comes back? While there is a brief pause, I have a few more current events questions for the audience. Who is the most famous man in America today? Oh, I think you're a little behind time, dear. Take me out to the ball. Babe Ruth, very good. And Babe Ruth is the most famous man in America at this point. What is the name of the pandemic that has changed the lives of most people all over the world in the last few years?
Spanish.
You're doing well, but you're not raising your hand. Okay. What famous singer performed the 1922 hit song, "Du-du-Tootsie Goodbye, Du-du-Tootsie Don't Cry"?
Keep going, you look good.
Du-du-Tootsie Goodbye. Raise your hand, sir.
Miss Mildred?
Yes. Yes.
Miss Mildred? Opal needs your help. She's locked in the outhouse.
Opal is locked in the outhouse? Don't even use the outhouse. We have indoor washroom facilities, which you just helped Pauline do.
She locked herself in the water closet, Pauline, and Opal couldn't wait. So she went to the outhouse and the door got stuck and we can't get her out.
I think maybe I need to go help Opal get unstuck from the outhouse. But what about our pageant? What?
Well, Miss Mildred's always teaching us to think on our feet, so,
This right here?
that right there. So we could do a little reading of "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" while she's helping Opal.
That seems like a great idea, my dear. I'm sure I'll just be a minute. Carry on, girls, carry on.
"'Twas the night before Christmas when all through the..." She's gone. Okay, she's gone. We loved Miss Mildred. She's really sweet. A little ditzy sometimes, but really sweet. And she can be a little stiff. And poetry's been fun. But we thought we could do something that might be a little more enjoyable. But you have to swear not to tell. Okay? It's got to be a secret. Do you swear? I didn't hear that. Did you swear? Okay, so it's true we got indoor plumbing this year, which has been great. We haven't had any problems with it, but we got these to go with it. And then the girls got some ideas. So, we have a little performance for you. The Plunger Puppet Players proudly present Saturday Night Plans Go Down the Drain.
Boop boop boopsie goodbye. Boop boop boopsie to right. I'm back from the beauty parlor. I feel like a new plunger, clean as a whistle. Oh, Mama, your hair is so white, it glows.
Thank you, Polly. Hopefully your father will like it. Isn't it nice to have a weekend off? A chance to really get cleaned up for a change and have a little time with the family. I think the family at the house is away for a few days, and we don't have to worry about being called into service at a moment's notice.
Thank you for helping with my hair earlier. I had forgotten that I'm naturally a blonde.
Well, of course, dear. You look lovely. Do you know where your father and brother are?
Well, Papa said he was going to investigate a noise he heard upstairs, and Percy was going outside to play with his pea shooter.
Well, I hope they come back soon. We don't want to miss a minute of our Saturday evening fun. Your father and I are really going to cut the rug tonight at the Plunger Palace.
And I hope I can beat a hep cat.
Oh dear, you're rather young to be thinking like that.
Mama, I am not just a little girl anymore. I am growing up. You can baby Percy, but not me. What was that?
You know perfectly well what that was. A call for service. Someone in the house needs to take the plunge.
But Mom, how? The house is empty.
Well, maybe Nanny and Baby stayed behind. Oh dear, I hope she hasn't accidentally flushed a nappy again.
What are we going to do?
Well, I'm not going down the cracker immediately after returning from the beauty parlor. Talk about flushing money right down the toilet. So my grown-up girl, I guess you're being called into action. It's your turn to take the plunge.
What? Me? Just when I was enjoying being a blonde again? Well, if I must go down there, I'm not going without some protection from the elements.
Of all times for your father and brother to be away, well, I guess it can't be helped. Be brave, my dear, and remember, close your eyes.
Wait, stop! I heard a noise before you got home, honey, and went to investigate. By the way, you look great. Anyway, it seems Nanny stayed behind for the weekend with the baby. I bet she let loose a nappy again when she was rinsing it out.
See, I told you.
That is no ordinary clog. That is going to take maximum pressure to clear.
I don't think I am built for that.
So, Papa, sounds like you are the one for the job. Prepare to take the plunge.
Okay, take my hair.
See, Polly? That's what I keep telling you. Looks aren't everything. A bald plunger with a toupee is a much better choice for a husband than one with a full head of hair. Hair just acts like a trap. Very nasty.
I hope I'm up to the task. I hope I can hold my breath long enough to clear the clog.
Wait! I have an idea. Get Percy. Percy can do this.
Percy? Why, he's just a little plunger. He can't manage a clog like this one.
Percy can do it.
Oh dear, the whole neighborhood could hear that one. We will be the laughing stock if the bell goes off again. What makes you think your brother can handle this job?
You haven't seen what Percy got in the mail today. He has been saving cereal boxes for ages and sent them off for a prize, and it finally came today.
What? What is it?
Hey, what's all the racket? Why isn't somebody answering the call for service?
Percy, what is that on your head and where did it come from?
I got it from a cereal company. They call it a beanie, but I'm pretty sure it will clean out clogs made of other substances as well. I think they could have called it a fruity or a veggie.
What a marvelous invention! A clog-cutting tool for plungers? It is a marvelous age we live in. Let's go, son.
It's time to take the plunge.
She's not back yet. You swore you're going to keep that a secret, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to continue with Maybe you can help me. I'll say the first part, you say the second part. 'Twas the night before Christmas. Not a creature was stirring.
Not even a horse.
The stockings were hung
By the chimney with care,
in hopes that St. Nicholas,
soon would be there,
the children were nestled.
all snug in their beds.
You guys are good. Oh, I lost my place. Yeah. While visions of sugar plums
Danced in their heads,
and Mama in her kerchief
and I in my cap,
had just settled down
for a long winter's nap.
when out on the lawn
There rose such a clatter,
I sprang from my bed
to see what was the matter.
away to the window,
I threw up a flash.
tore open the hi.
Hi.
Oh, girls.
Is Opal okay?
Oh, yes. I don't really understand. I don't really know what happened. It's like she forgot how to use the lock. What is this?
Oh.
Where did this come from?
I don't know. It looks like it belongs to Sadie.
Really? Hair pieces? Refined young ladies do not use hair piece anyway. I think Opal is just fine. She may have forgotten how to use the lock. Maybe it got a little rusty with disuse over the last few months. Anyway, at a certain point, it was really easy to get her out of that bathroom. But let's see. Thank you, Thelma. I guess you can have a seat now. Did our young ladies provide you with memorable entertainment? I seem to have made very much progress on a visit with St. Nicholas, but maybe it just seemed like I was gone for a long time because of the stress, the worry. Okay, let's see. When things got a bit off program, I think Pauline was about to recite for you. Pauline, can you join us and recite your piece of poetry for us this afternoon? Ooh, this morning still.
I don't know if I can recite if they're looking at me.
I think you can. I think you can just look beyond them at the far wall, not this. And imagine that the room is empty.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'll try. I'm a little snowman, short and fat. Here is my scarf. Here is my hat. When it's cold and snowy, I will stay. But when it gets warm, I melt away. It's children,
You did it, and you did it wonderfully. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the formal program that we prepared for you today, but we would very much appreciate it if you'd join us in a few winter holiday songs, accompanied by the capable Pauline.
Miss Mildred, I think I can do it now if they don't look at me a lot. If they look at me like, maybe like this, okay? They look at me like this.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we know what's expected of us. Let's cooperate with Miss Pauline. In a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells above, tails ring, making spirits bright. confinement, Miss Mildred's school will be enrolling people throughout the rest of the year. I'm hopeful that you will go away today at least remembering who the President of the United States is. Some of you may even be able to predict the future. I'm going to put my money on that Joe Biden guy, whoever he is. Opal has prepared our luncheon for us. We have plenty of food today. Opal, what have you been doing back? You were in the outhouse, right? If anyone did not have a reservation for the luncheon but would like to stay, I'm sure we can accommodate you. So thank you for coming. Get back home safely. Next year we'll plan an autumn pageant for your enjoyment. So Anne, who is Anne? She must be with Joe Biden. So Pauline is going to play some music. For those of you who are staying for lunch, we'll have one section go in first, and then we'll have the other section go. And in the meantime, if you're just leaving, if you want to just stay in your seat until the lunch crowd goes through, that would be lovely. So Pauline, we're going to actually watch you this time. I'm sorry, but we can't walk around here like that. Okay.
Anybody else from this group that wants to go for lunch, you're welcome to go in for lunch.